Hi True Crime fans, this is me, Patti Lee, here on the True Crime Grapevine, where I tell you about all this week's chitter chatter on the interwebs about what has happened in true crime. Kind of giving you what's on the grapevine with my main squeezes, which I will tell you about in case you'd like to check it out, and, you know, do some critical thinking if you want to investigate further. My air conditioning is broken. You might have just seen a fly by because, yes, we've had to open up all the doors and windows. It is so warm in here. So sorry about that. Anyways, let's unpack our third case, which is an update on the Kaitlin Armstrong case. So this is episode 20, case 3. It is July 11th. What has happened? Well, Kaitlin is back in the U.S. with her new face and her new hair. And she's a little bit sad. She's not smiling. Everybody goes, she looks so different. It looks like she had a little plastic surgery. So $6,000 and some dollars at a facility in Costa Rica. We still don't know exactly why she chose Costa Rica. I think she must have either had some contacts down there. I do not think she hashtag Googled that shit because Costa Rica does extradite people. Now, when they extradite, if it's for a crime of capital murder, they won't extradite you unless, like, the U.S. promises not to use the death penalty, which in Texas they have. Guess what? She wasn't extradited. Oh no, she was deported. So, we're going to need a drink with this one because, woo! Yeah, we're drinking Menage A Trios. Why? Well, we've called this the love triangle case from the beginning. Now, I have thoughts, people. We talked about in our second case of this week about Dylan Rounds and the rumors of certain people and how I didn't think they're accurate. So, especially when cases go a little cold or there's not a lot happening, people love to talk. They love to be dramatic. I mean, I was a cheerleader. I was in a sorority, not for very long. Long story. We won't get into it. I'm not really a joiner of things. Probably because I'm so opinionated. But there are certain people who I'm a little disappointed in. I'm not going to mention my main squeezes that I think went a little off the rails by retweeting things because I just think what they retweeted was ridiculous. So let me tell you, all we know is that Kaitlin is back. Have we learned any more facts? No. I mean, everybody's like, ooh, her face changed. Ooh, yeah, she fucking ran. Excuse my language. She freaking ran from the cops. You do that. Google that shit. That's the first thing you do. Cut your hair and color it. Hello. Wired has this interesting like specialist things, and it was somebody from both the FBI, but they talked about FBI, like how things looked like in real life from in the movies, and they showed how people changed like in seconds walking through airport, and an actual like CIA or FBI agent was saying, I think it was CIA, like how that movie interpretation, like what is that like how it is in real life. Obviously not giving away methods and sources. If you know, you know. But just saying, like, yes, there is certain ways to disguise, and that the movie did a good or bad job. Okay. What's that got to do with Kaitlin Armstrong? What that's got to do with is, what do we really know with the update? We know that, yes, she probably had some plastic surgery, and she did what everybody does when they run, and we know she ran. Those are the facts. Menage A Trios is pretty strong. If you're going to go in, this is going in. It's a wine that has a kick. You're going to have a little trouble with too much of it, and you know it. That's all I'm saying about any Menage A Trois wine or otherwise. Okay, third case. Patty's lightweight. Going to get interesting. All right. So, what do I say about the rumor thing? If you've been following my channel, if you saw my live two Sundays ago, I talked about there's 3 theories that I have about Kaitlin Armstrong. So let's just get this straight. If somebody runs it doesn't mean they're guilty. Now, does it look good? No, it doesn't look good. But I personally look at the description of, they brought her into the police station. They said she sat very quietly and listened and was still, like she was paying attention. They laid out what they had against her, including the anonymous tip that she had said she was going to kill Mo. They knew that the weapon that was similar, that was found in her house, that it was the one that her boyfriend bought her. So basically, lady, and we saw you near the house, looks like you did it. Okay. Again, if I listened to all that and I had not done it, again, suspend your disbelief for a moment. This is about possibilities, and I'll explain to you why this is a definite possibility according to evidence. If you heard all that and you weren't under arrest, would you decide to get to your family? And then once you were with your family and it was snowballing, would you listen, talk with your sister, maybe go, I need to get away where I'm safe until this all shakes out, because he's throwing me under the bus. I look good for this, and how am I going to explain this? F this. I'm out of here. Okay. That's one possibility. And if you don't think innocent people run, you don't know human nature, because little children do it all the time. People can act guilty because they know that you think they did it. And so that scares them. The fear of authority. Not so much like I did it. In fact, we know a bunch of criminals who stick around. They help out with the search. They want to talk to the police. So, again, I don't study criminal psychology yet. I'm thinking about it though. But I do know in typical psychology there are different motivations for people getting skittish and taking off. Okay? And by the way, let me remind you, Colin also left Austin at the same time. He said it was because he was afraid of Kaitlin. So we had 2 people who left town. All right. Now, they did indict. They did put out an arrest warrant for her, and then they have, she hasn't had a preliminary trial, but she is on the hook. They think they have enough to get her for Mo's unaliving. Now, I don't know all they have. From what I understand, in the actual arrest warrant, it says her car, not her car was seen in the vicinity. If you look online, you have to look at a couple different sites. I retweeted, I'm sorry to the person who lives there, but she lived in the Mo's friend lived in the apartment above the house that's in the front. So online on Google, it's all smeared out so you can't see the house. But if you look at enough real estate sites, you can find a picture of the alley and the staircase up to where Unit B, the apartment where Mo was in, okay? And it's not like, I mean, it's a easy to walk. It's not hard to get up and out. I thought when they said her bike was on the balcony and her friend said get it inside, that maybe people were stealing things and people climbing balconies. No, you can walk. That was the entrance, I believe. You can walk right up to it. So I don't know also if that was the entrance, if that's also where the motorcycle was parked when Colin dropped her off, because she would have gone in the back way up those stairs. From what I understand, Kaitlin was seen driving down the street and around the next block. I don't think it was reported that she was in the alley, and the alley was the entrance to this apartment. Why does that matter? Well, if you recall, and it's in the warrant, the owner of the Unit A, I believe he owned the house, was doing something and saw someone came down the stairs quickly and took off on a bike southbound down the alley between 8:45 and 9:30, which is when she was unalived. So we have 3 suspects, people. We have Kaitlin, Colin, who was with her all day and knew her plans and knew who was home or not because he was talking with her all day. and had a relationship with her. And then we have maybe an unknown person. Either an unknown person who was working with Colin, or an unknown person who was in love with Colin, or it could just be someone who was robbing the apartment, and Mo came in and interrupted the robbery, and the guy's like, you over here, get in the bathroom, I'll leave you alone if you just go in there quietly. Then she went in there, and as most promises happen during crimes, boom, 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 boom. Looks like 4 to the head and 1 to the chest. Unfortunately, unalived, and then that person flees, taking the bite, because they hear the person downstairs. Gets out of there. Or Kaitlin, see, this is the problem. So the rumors this week are, oh my God, Kaitlin was at a conference and she said she had a food sensitivity, and oh my God, she was so dramatic. She had a fit and it scared me. Okay, number one, people with their food stuff, it's weird, but I assume maybe people who are into health yoga stuff, maybe they're all like that. I don't know. You were scared. Oh, okay, Daily Mail UK Online, anonymous source. This is another anonymous source. Again, I don't like anonymous sources. And know who your main squeezes are, and then know who you read and take it with a grain of salt. Sorry, UK, Daily Mail, Online, I take you with a grain of salt because you are a bit of a rag. Sure, you, the Sun, the National Enquirer, we get it, the New York Post, you gotta sell papers. That is my opinion, my speculation. You just go with what sounds most dramatic. As do a couple YouTubers. There's one YouTuber, which I will not mention, and here's the deal. Is this channel gonna become, popular? No, probably not. Same reason I didn't stay in a sorority. I'll drink to that. Why? Because I'm not going to do whatever it takes to get attention. Not going to do it. Not going to go, oh my God, shocking details. Is this person this? Do you think this? That person, like, no. No. Sorry. Now, will I give you some crazy theory? Yeah, I will break that shit down. But will I give you reasoning for it? Yes. So, here's a problem with the whole, oh my God, Kaitlin's a crazy bitch. What she found out. So here's what I don't get. She's a crazy bitch who just went in and killed her, but she's also a crazy bitch who planned this all meticulously. But she said in January, according to the anonymous source, that she found out. Well, she found out in January, and then she said, I'm going to KILL her, which is great for the police, right? Because that's a nice finish it up with the bow. Oh, she said she was going to do it. Now it happened. Oh, great. Anonymous source, you are the winner. Okay. Or it could have happened, right? She could have said it and not meant it, and the anonymous source could be real. But how did, even if she knew Kaitlin was coming and staying there, how did she know that nobody else was in the apartment? How did she know the person who she was staying with wasn't there? Was she going to kill everybody? That seems unlikely, right? And that the fact that the gun was a gift that, I think it was January or February, he gave her a gun and bought himself a gun. So did she start planning it then, or she just went off the handle? Again, it doesn't make sense. How did she know where she was staying? She couldn't have her phone bugged. I mean, is she like some weird techno genius that you had NSO Pegasus project like software and could get into her phone and knew everything? Like, did she hack Mo's email and texting? I don't think so. So how would she know exactly where she was staying? Even if she saw, like they said, ooh, there had been a ride uploaded, so she knew where she was staying. Sorta, but she didn't know everybody, like she didn't know who was there. And even if she had a dot, there were 2 units. So she just picked the right one. And the warrant said they saw her stop her car, not park her car. I mean, was it stopped for 15, 20 minutes? And if so, was it in the alley? Or did they see her, like, how did she got out, she went upstairs, took care of business, took the bike. Okay, so, and everybody's like, oh, she took the bike to make it look like a burglary. And then went back to her car? I don't know. It just seems weird. And she had her phone on her the whole time, and she wasn't trying to, and she took her own car. So she's this genius who could somehow get out of the country and had this all planned, but she wasn't smart enough to take a different car. Okay, whatever. Let's just say she was lucky. That's it. Easy peasy, case closed. Like everybody thinks. And she's a dramatic, crazy person who threw a fit about food and scared people, and so therefore she killed somebody. I don't know. She's like 30-some years old, and this is the first time she like got violent with anybody. She doesn't have a record of violence. Not a fight, not anything. I mean, and she didn't even buy the gun. Wow, that's going big time. That is going big time for your first time. All right, so let's look at Colin. Colin was with Mo all day. Colin purchased the weapons. We don't know who purchased the ammo. We don't know. Nobody heard the weapon go off. So did somebody purchase a silencer? We don't know. But we do know Colin purchased the weapons and gave it as a gift to his girlfriend, who he said wasn't really his girlfriend anymore. He's said no, they weren't even dating. They were just living together because she was his business partner. And he also wasn't involved with Mo. No, even though in the warrant it said that Mo had sent him a text because they ran into each other at an event and he had Kaitlin with him, and Mo felt uncomfortable and said, like, basically, she doesn't seem to get, like, it looks like you're together with her, and so, hey, what's going on with us? Love triangle. So Colin's got a messy situation that we know for sure he and Mo knew about, and according to Mo's text, it looked like Kaitlin didn't know about it. Of course, the anonymous caller, they know. But, you know, I'd love to see her phone, all of their phone. Like, that's going to tell the tale that we don't know. See, law enforcement knows all that. So if they charged her, maybe they do know. But anyways, Colin, this is also interesting. He spent the day with Mo. So I'm assuming they talked. They swam. They went to dinner with each other at the pizza pool place. So what I don't get is his phone was off this whole entire time, I guess. Because he said to Kaitlin, apparently after he dropped Mo off on his motorcycle, he stopped his motorcycle and texted Kaitlin saying, hey, what do you want for dinner? Do you have any plans or something, okay? So he stopped. I don't know, at the end of, he said at the northbound side of the alley. So he stopped in the alley. Really? The alley. Stopped with his motorcycle. I don't know, had he just dropped off a bicycle next to it after coming back? I don't know. See, his phone, I think, was off the whole time. So you're with, like, everybody's like, oh, yeah, but it was because he was with his girlfriend, so he turned his phone off. Yeah, he turned his phone off that whole time, so we don't know. Did he go back and forth down that alley, maybe once on a bike and then back on his motorcycle? We don't know. And his motorcycle, unlike a Jeep, his motorcycle wouldn't have telematics, right? That's convenient to me. That his phone was off that time until he was on his way home, and he was in the alley, and he probably knew who was home or wasn't, and he was the one who said that Kaitlin didn't get home to a certain time. It's all on him. Although I hope her car, even though she sold it, they can get it. I hope her telematics would tell us exactly what she was doing, and her phone, because I don't think she had her stuff turned off. So it's weird that the crazed murderer has all her stuff on, tracking her, is going down streets, you know, being seen in her own vehicle, but the innocent bystander, oh, I don't know what happened, I wasn't really seeing anybody, I don't know, had his phone off, was driving his motorcycle, not his car. Interesting. interesting. Speculation, 100%. I am just speculating. Again, we have, and it would be a real kick in the pants if it was just an intruder that happened to unalive somebody who wasn't even supposed to be in the house, because you know the owner was gone, and maybe the person who was making the burglary only thought the owner was supposed to be in there, the renter, and so they were surprised by Mo coming in. Wouldn't that be something? So here's the deal. The bike. The bike, 100%, if it has any touch DNA on it, will be the telltale as to, sorry, Sadie Mae. Stop it. My dog's going a little crazy. It is Zoomy time for Sadie Mae. Anyway, so we don't know.